Hello and welcome everyone to a new video on our channel FPL Nerds. My name is Timo.
And my name is MJ, and today we're gonna share with you our Game Week 6 points, our Game Week 7 transfers, as well as our Game Week 8 transfers, and towards the end, we're gonna share with you our Game Week 8 team preview.
And it feels like forever since the game week 6 started with the passing of the Queen and everything. And spoiler alert guys, we have a lot of transfer made between
Oh
these
yeah.
two game weeks, so bear with us till the end so you can see all of them. Alright, so let's jump into it and see what we have for you today. Alright guys, so this is how I did in game week 6. As you can see, I went from 2.5 million to 3 million and 300,000 almost. I got only 35 points. It was a pretty horrible week for me and actually a lot of other FPL managers since most of the big teams blanked. As you can see, the only person that actually returned for me was Holland, my captain. He got me a total of 18 points, and everybody else in the team got me 2 points and 1 points, apart from Salah and Elliot that got me each 3 points. So basically, it was pretty bad, and I hope that doesn't repeat again during the season. But it was also a very weird week for everyone. So I don't want to dwell too much on it and probably just move on and see what the transfer that we made for the upcoming game weeks.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this is the first transfer I did for from game week 6 to game week 7. I had two free transfers actually. The first one was taking out Walker because he had an orange flag with a 50% chance of playing, which is still on until this moment, actually, until the time of recording. And I got in Trippier instead, that has a very good run of fixtures for the upcoming 5 or even 6 game weeks. As you can see on the screen, of course, game week 7 was a blank, so that's why it's in white in front of you. And after that, it's all in the green for Newcastle. And Trippier, since he's on the corners and also most of the set pieces, I think he's the best asset you can get in the back for Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
Plus, also Walker got only like 3 clean sheet out of 6 game weeks so far. So in any case, Trippier looks like a much better pick for the upcoming game weeks.
Yeah,
Uh,
he definitely, I think he looks like a very interesting guy considering the defense of Newcastle, and with the run of fixture, definitely looks good to me.
yeah, and I actually saw a lot of people actually bring him in from the for these game weeks among the FPL community. All right,
Yeah.
so let's move on then to the next one. All right, so the second transfer I did was taking Kulusevski out for Rashford, and I actually got Rashford for specifically a 2 week punt because they had Crystal Palace and then Leeds home, which looked very good for Rashford to get a few returns, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances we have, both of these games were cancelled, and now I will have to take Rashford out again, as you will see in the next slide. In any case, Kulusevski at that point looked the most logical one to take out because they had Manchester City away and then they had Arsenal a couple of weeks after, and he didn't really show any promise. So
Even Brighton doesn't look very well for them.
yeah, indeed, indeed. So at that point, of course, that looked the most logical decision to make, but it didn't work out so well. And as you will see now, I took Rashford out again for now Bowen. And hear me out. I know that Bowen didn't really perform that well so far, but looking at his heat map in some of the websites that provide this information, he looked pretty attacking on the right side, and he had a lot of touches in the box, 26, and his XGI looks overall not that bad with the 0.47. So I think it could be a good punt for the next few weeks.
Yeah, he's actually quite a good choice in my opinion. He has that very good price point of 8.1, so you can easily move to a Madison, a Foden, or any other midfielder at your choice, basically, apart from the Sterlings, Son, and the premium ones.
Yeah.
And if West Ham is going to step up their game anytime, it should be now, considering the matches they have ahead: Everton, Wolverhampton, Fulham, and Southampton. It really looks like Bowen's time to shine, and he actually has a good shot of delivering the goods.
Yeah, and actually the first three are at home, so it's a big advantage for West Ham to score some
Very
points
true.
there, right? Okay, move on to the fourth transfer, which was Archer for Mitrovic. I think that's a pretty obvious one. I think everybody in the FPL community would be jumping on Mitrovic because of the next run of fixtures that they have. They look pretty good, specifically the Nottingham Forest one coming up on the next week. And in any case, Archer had a price drop, and also we were about to have another one. I'm not sure he already had a second price drop by the time of recording, but it was going there anyway. And Mitrovic, I cannot say enough. He had 27 shots, 15 on target, 36 touches in the box. He's topping all the matrices of goal scoring. So I think he looks like absolutely amazing for the upcoming fixtures, and he could be the one that brings a lot of points.
Yeah, he's a goal scoring machine, and so far he's been fixture proof, so why not? He has amazing fixtures looking ahead.
True. Okay, so the last and final transfer that I did between game week 7 and game week 8 was taking out, unfortunately, Trent and replacing him with Williams to clear up some funds. Look, honestly, I didn't. I hate making this move because I like to keep Trent for the whole season if I can. But looking at the circumstances right now, he had a blank, and then it's Brighton, which is not really the best because they been solid defensively, and then it's Arsenal, and then it's Manchester City. So Liverpool are actually not looking very good right now. So maybe I can consider and take him back again in my team by game week 12 or something when Liverpool's fixtures turn good. And Nottingham Forest actually have a very good run of fixtures. I'm not expecting too much clean sheet from Williams, but he looked pretty attacking and maybe a few like attacking returns here or there, a couple of assists maybe, or hopefully at least.
He is one of the most attacking defenders, actually, despite him playing at Nottingham Forest and not having clean sheets. Attacking wise, he looks pretty amazing. His stats back him up, and it's very likely that in the next four fixtures to have at least one or two attacking returns.
Yeah, that's the hope. All right, guys. So this is my list of transfer that I did between these two game weeks. So let's see how my team is shaping up for the upcoming one. All right, guys. So this is how my team is shaping up for game week 8. As you can see in the back, I had to play Ward, unfortunately, against Tottenham because my main goalkeeper Sanchez is blanking. I'm not expecting too much from Ward because they probably concede a goal or two, so maybe a 1 pointer or maybe a 0 pointer. So yeah, nothing to say that much there. In the back, I have Williams playing against Fulham at home. Yes, it's a home fixtures, but on the other side, Fulham have Mitrovic and Andreas, so they could be receiving a few goals. But I'm expecting maybe from Williams an assist or something, or at least hopefully so. The second one next to him is Saliba, playing against Brentford away. Brentford could be a bit attacking, but also Arsenal are quite solid in the back, so maybe a clean sheet there, but I think it's a 50-50 chance for that. So let's see what happens. After that, Cancelo with a very good fixture against Wolves. Since Wolves didn't really score much goals, I think in total they had 3 goals since the beginning of the season. So a very good chance of a clean sheet there. And Cancelo, we all know that he's pretty attacking, so he could also add to that with a return, attacking return. Finally, in the back, we have Trippier, which is the one that everybody's bringing in because of the good Newcastle fixtures coming up for the next 4 or 5. As we said before, he's on set pieces and corners, and he's playing Bournemouth at home, so I think he could be getting a few points there. Okay, so moving on to the midfield, I have three players, starting with Andreas, playing against Nottingham Forest. Andreas showed a lot of promise since the beginning of the season, and I think he have a good chance of maybe getting an assist or two to his teammate Mitrovic. Next to him is Martinelli, playing against Brentford. I think Martinelli is best out of the lot in Arsenal when it comes to attacking returns. He always looked sharp, and he already got a lot of returns so far. But after that, I think after this match, I think I could be taking him out with his teammate Jesus because Arsenal fixtures are turning to the worst. So it's pretty much his last chance in my team to get some returns. Moving on to the third and final player in the middle, which is Bowen. As I said, Bowen will be my punt for the next few game weeks. They have an okay fixtures against Everton. And if he got into the same form as he did last season, I think he could be a really good asset moving forwards. And after that, we move to the front. Mitrovic is the first one. I think against Nottingham Forest, he will be scoring a lot of points because the Nottingham Forest so far they showed that they cannot be really good at the back. So
Hmm.
it's a good chance of him getting a few returns there. Next to him is my captain, which is Holland. Actually, I had a kind of a thought about captaining Mitrovic against Nottingham Forest, but I think a lot of people will be captaining Holland this game week, so I don't want to go against the crowd and take a risk. So I
Yeah, a
think,
bit too risky.
yeah, it will be a bit risky indeed. So I'm keeping the armband on Holland for the moment. And finally, I have Jesus. I think Jesus could be a good asset for this game week also. But after that, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, the same as Martinelli, I will be considering taking him out because the Arsenal fixture don't look good after that one. And
He's
of
still a proven asset. Apologies for the interruption.
no worries.
He's still a proven asset. I still think he can continue and deliver even through the tough fixtures. The only thing here is that there's other cheaper options which have better fixtures and also are in good form. So this can be the argument for some of the managers to remove Jesus.
True. Yeah, you do have Isaac. You have also Tony. You have a couple of
Exactly.
options there that could be a really good asset. So yeah, I do agree on that point. Finally, to finish is the bench, which have none of the player playing so far because of the blanks. I decided to keep Salah against the crowd a bit, and actually Salah showed that he still can score. And in the Champions League yesterday, he scored a goal. So I think he could maybe broke the curse and he will start scoring again. And for the people who kept him like me, it could be actually a bit of a differential than the others. So let's see what happens there. But yeah,
Yeah.
not too much to speak about on the bench side because everybody is blanking.
Actually, I wanted to comment a little bit on Salah because indeed you left him in the team. However, also it's to be noted that you have already used your wild card. So if you take him out right now, it will be quite difficult to get him back in game week 12. So
True.
taking this into consideration, I really agree with your choice of keeping him.
Okay, good, good. All right, so this concludes my team and my transfers. So let's move on to see what happened with MJ.
All right. So for Game Week 6, as you can see, I had only 42 points and also unfortunately got a red arrow. Now, looking at the team itself, the only three players that actually returned were Erling Haaland, which scored a goal and got 3 bonus points. So I have a total of 9 points. Neko Williams, which actually did not get a clean sheet, but he did provide an assist and Nick Pope, which was absolutely amazing. He had, I believe, 9 saves, clean sheet, and 3 bonus points. That adds up to a total of 12 points. Now, leaving those three players aside, we have the Liverpool boys, which both blanked and had 3 points each, both Salah and Luis Diaz. If we move on to Arsenal, we have Martinelli and Jesus that scored 2 points and 1 point only, as none of them had any returns. In the defense, we have Reece James. He blanked as well as Cancelo, unfortunately. And the last two are Neco Williams, apologies, are Estupinian and Kulusevski, who actually did not get almost any minutes. Estupinian got only 1 minute, and Kulusevski got only 12 minutes, and therefore they also blanked. So, in other words, 11 players, 3 returns, 8 blanks. Not a very happy game week, but this explains why I made so many transfers. I actually have 4 transfers which I'm gonna share with you. So, I say we move to them straight away.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't much difference of mine. You had only three players that return. I had only two. So it was a horrible game week for everybody, as I said before.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let's check out the transfers.
All right. So actually, for game week 7, I had two free transfers. However, I used three of them and took a -4 hit, and this explains actually the drop in the overall rank. As you can see now, I'm at 44K. So for my first transfer, I took out Perisic, which had a few difficult matches, as well as I believe that his high rotation risk, and I brought instead of him Kieran Trippier, who has very nice fixtures coming ahead, and also he looks very good defensively and offensively. So I think he's a pretty common transfer within the FPL managers, and he will be rewarding most of us that have him in the team. Now, actually, moving on to the next transfer, I have Gabriel Jesus, which I took him out for the mighty Mitrovic. And this is not because Gabriel Jesus is a bad choice, not at all. However, due to the fact that he has a few difficult fixtures, and also he's priced at 8.1, apologies, which is not a very high price. However, there are other cheaper
Cheaper.
options for 1 million. For instance, we have Isaac, we have Mitrovic, we have Ivan Tony, not to mention the even cheaper players like Johnson, etc., that are actually in good form and can deliver the same, I believe, the same amount of points that Jesus can do, and not even better due to their good fixtures. Now, looking into Mitrovic, I might be repeating myself, but he's a scoring machine. And with these coming fixtures, Nottingham Forest away, Newcastle home, West Ham away, and Bournemouth home, and the amazing stats he had in those difficult fixtures, which he had in the first 6 game weeks, I truly believe he's the player to have, and he will be scoring most of the points in the coming weeks, or at least the very least is the fact that whenever Fulham will score, there's a very high probability that
It will
Mitrovic
truly
is
work.
involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
exactly.
realize actually that the first two players that we got in are the same Mitrovic and Trippier, but through different players?
Yeah, I think there's a reason why they are template. They've been proving over and over again, and with the fixtures that they have now, it would be a pity not to have them in your team.
True.
It can really hurt you in ranks if we don't get them.
Yeah. Okay, so let's check the next one.
So I took out Salah in order to bring De Bruyne. I truly think De Bruyne is an obvious choice here if you're looking to double up on that Man City attack, since everybody already has Erling Haaland, and it doesn't really make too much of a difference in the ranking. So I decided to go for another City midfielder, and I was pretty split between De Bruyne and Foden. However, I think De Bruyne has his minutes a little bit more secured rather than Foden, and I think he was the obvious choice for me at the end. Now, the reason Salah was out, we all know he's a good player. However, the form that Liverpool has shown so far, it's not really that good. And Salah himself also, he didn't show the good returns that we all got used to in the past 5 years. So yeah, unfortunately, he had to leave the team, but he will most probably be coming back in game week 12. Now,
Okay, before you continue, actually, I believe that De Bruyne is a pretty good option to replace Salah. because of his price point, of course, and it will be an easy way to get him back in by game week 12, even if you don't have the
Yeah.
wild card. So, so yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Mm. With the wild card, without the wild card, honestly, I think it's a little bit difficult because there will be a zero point 0.7 difference in the amount. However, if you use two transfers or if you have a little bit of money left in the back, you could
Yeah,
definitely go do the switch again.
exactly, exactly. Okay, so for the final
All right.
transfer,
And for my final transfer, Archer made his way out of the team, and Isaac has joined. I'm really looking forward to see more of Isaac. I've been following a little bit, following him a little bit in La Liga last year, and despite the fact that he did not score so much, he really looks like a top talent. He's a top player. He's super good with his dribbling ability and his pace. And I really wanted that third to fill that third spot in the attack. At this point, whether it was Archer or any other 4.5, I would have still made the switch. So I hold no grudges against Archer specifically, but I definitely had to make space for Isaac. I was a little bit unsure whether to take Isaac or Tony. However, after I had a little bit of more research, saw a few extra matches, as well as looked more into some of the websites that we are using to get more stats and information on the players. I think as Isaac is the player to have for the next few fixtures. If you look at those fixtures, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away, Brentford at home, and yes, afterwards there's Chelsea at home. However, we still don't know whether or not they can score against Chelsea or not because they already did score three times against Manchester City.
yeah, true. And to compare both Tony and Isaac, I think Isaac have slightly better fixtures than Tony for the upcoming 3 or 4.
Yeah, yeah, have to agree with that.
Okay,
So now keeping all those changes that we made, let's have a look and see how the team actually shapes up.
all right, let's check it out.
All right, so this is how my team is shaping up after all these transfers. I'm pretty pleased with how it's looking, considering the blank game week and the current circumstances that we have around the Premier League in general. So yeah, let's get to it. So I will start with Nick Pope, Trippier, and Isaac. The Newcastle boys, they look like they have a very nice fixture. To start off, Isaac, he's still new to the league, and we just discussed about him. Actually, he looks pretty good, and considering that Bournemouth have a pretty weak defense, I think he has a pretty good shot. They're actually one of the worst teams in terms of defensive abilities.
Yeah, to be precise, actually, they conceded the worst out of all of the teams. They conceded so far 20 goals. So I think, yeah, there's a good chance there that be receiving a few more.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope Isaac is part of it. And in terms of the defense, there is Trippier and Pope. Also, if you look at Bournemouth, they haven't really been scoring so many goals. They only scored 5 goals so far within the first 6 game weeks. And the Newcastle defense itself, it's pretty solid. We all know that Pope is a great shot stopper. And Trippier, he might actually have an opportunity of delivering some attacking returns.
Yeah, an assist or something from the side like he usually do, or maybe even from a set piece. He's really good at set pieces.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, now moving on, we have the Manchester City players, Cancelo, De Bruyne, and Haaland. Cancelo has a pretty okay fixture actually against the Wolverhampton team that is not scoring too much so far. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they scored 3 goals
Yeah, the
so
least out
far
of
in
all
the.
of them. Next to West Ham, of course, they also scored only 3.
Yeah, so that's absolutely horrible, and I think Manchester City can take this clean sheet away at Wolverhampton. And in terms of the attacking players, which are De Bruyne and Haaland, I think they can continue this very nice collaboration that they had. Haaland is a scoring machine, and De Bruyne is pretty good on the ball, and he keeps delivering those assists.
Yeah,
So
he's a great playmaker, De Bruyne since forever. And actually, Man City scored the most goals out of all of the teams with 20 goals so far, even with Liverpool scoring 9 at Bournemouth. They still on the top, which
yeah,
is crazy.
absolutely crazy. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I really like what's happening here between De Bruyne and Haaland. This is a partnership which I'm really hoping to become sort of Harry Kane and Son in the previous years. And yeah, this double up, I'm really hoping for a lot of good things from their side. But enough about City for now. Let's move on to Fulham, where we have the mighty Mitrovic playing against weak team in terms of defensive abilities, Nottingham Forest, and he will be joined by Andreas Pereira. Andreas Pereira, he wouldn't necessarily be the first choice to be in the starting 11, but considering all the substitutes, the bench players are blanking. Uh, I think he's a pretty good choice in these circumstances, and he has also an easy match with Nottingham Forest. And yeah, he can deliver some of the goods.
Yeah,
He can be a good assister for Mitrovic, which I think we most of the managers are expecting to see him score at least once. Not really expecting too many assists from Mitrovic, but in terms of goals, I think we would all be disappointed not to see him score.
yeah. Now we all agree that Mitrovic can at least score 1 or even 2 goals. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, and to move back to the defense, Neko Williams, which will be playing actually against Mitrovic, it's a very tough choice. It's a very tough fixture. However, Neko Williams is not just that defender that you have him for the clean sheets. You have him for two main reasons. One is attacking returns, and two is his amazing price. Okay, he's only 4.1 million, and I think he's definitely underpriced. And with a fixture like this, okay, Fulham might be very good offensively, but defensively they are lacking.
Yeah.
So there is a chance that Neko can actually provide some attacking returns.
Yeah, and for the long term also, the next few fixtures for Nottingham Forest looks good. So I think he could be a good option for at least next 3 or 4.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree on that. And now the last two spots in my team are Martinelli and Kulusevski. They both actually have an okay fixture for the game week 8, but as you already mentioned when you were talking about your team, I'm actually kind of thinking of changing Martinelli despite his amazing form so far. And Kulusevski, for me, it just looks like it's never the right time to change him. I've been planning to change him for a few game weeks already, but it didn't happen. However, now with the looks of Bowen and Madison also has amazing fixtures. Maybe even Foden. I'm actually thinking of making a side move and go to another 8 million midfielder. But for
Okay.
this game week 8, he's looking good. He's playing against Leicester at home. It's a very good fixture. Also, we know that yesterday he did not start in the Champions League match. So it's looking like he's gonna be starting in
This
the
one.
Premier League,
Yeah,
and he had plenty of time to rest within this past 2 weeks.
true.
Yeah. Okay, so this sums up my team. I only have the bench, basically, which none of them are playing except for Ward, and I'm truly not planning to change him, to play him actually. So yeah, this is how my team is shaping up, and let's hope this one will be definitely much better than Game Week 6 was.
Well, overall looks yeah pretty solid. So yeah, let's hope for both of us that things turn to the better this game week and no more surprises.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please don't forget to drop us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get all the new videos. And stay in tune because we're planning on releasing another video for a wildcard draft later on today or maybe tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good one.
Thank you. Cheers.